on in here. We got smoke coming out of there. What the hell? Maybe this one will come off. One of them, thank you. Holy sh! Factory option with the stick shift, clutch cutout switch right there. Well, this is my old man's truck. We got to give it back to him today. Fresh paint job. Ah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that bucket gets
A lot bigger the closer I get to that truck.
dude. What?
You thought that thing was gutless before. Wait till now. Oh my. Look at that bucket. Squat it level. Alright, here's the situation for you. I hauled the Mechalek up to my dad's house a while back with the 5500 and the gooseneck to put a mulcher head attachment on it. We didn't quite get the job done that day, so I didn't want to disconnect the gooseneck, which wouldn't have been no big deal. Or actually, you know what, I think I needed to turn around and disconnect, and it would have been a little fiasco, and it was already kind of late. So I opted to take the black truck, as we call this thing. And by the way, it had no paint on it when I got it from him the other day, so that I didn't have to do a whole charade of moving stuff around. This thing hadn't been driven consistently on the road in over 3 years. It was not charging, so we're beating on alternator trying to get that to work. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take it home, but first I'll test it and go up the hill, opposite direction. If it dies going up the hill, you can always turn around and coast back down to the house. So it worked fine. Drove it home. It actually almost caught on fire, and it scared the crap out of me. This was the next night. I think that's why it ultimately ended up staying here. I took my truck home because the resistor in the dash that controls your fan speed, yeah, it died and just started bellowing smoke out of it. So I gave it a paint job, sanded it, scuffed it, painted it, because I didn't want to keep rotting out. Turned out the bed's starting to rot. Fixed the alternator, fixed a couple of miscellaneous things, like he's never had a good latch on the back. The other one's in here somewhere that he made. He literally made a handle rather than the 17 bucks on Amazon. But we're gonna take this back up to Haas today, because quite opposite situation now. I left the 5500 there. I didn't have a truck to get home because it's a loaded unit and we're gonna work with the neighbors. So I'm gonna drive this up there with the bucket. Believe it or not, this thing has hauled 1,000+ loads consistently in its lifetime, many times. So let's try to find a tie down at least. Tie down, where are you? When tying down a big bucket, make sure you use the best coffee cup from yesterday. Don't use your coffee cup from this morning. Wait a second. Okay, we're good. I still got mine in there. And yeah, use a tie down that's rated for it, 100%. We're doing a wheelie. Oh yeah, they even put Bluetooth in it. This is a little project that took place over probably about 3-4 weeks. Just kind of tinker on it here and there when I'm working on a main project. Well, what do you think about the payload? Just like back in the day, I had to back this thing up to a cut bank, roll that thing in like a big oak round. Yep. Oh, I mean cut bank as in Kubota. I did feel a little bit nervous for it when I was setting it in there, but it only sat down about 9 inches. Oh, look at this bad bird. we got to load that up on there. We didn't know if we are going to be taking the chipper, and that was the last thing we loaded from the job. So I figured might as well leave it on there just in case. Why this? What that? Jeez, what is? Get it? Cold in here, boys. They always change the thermometer. The 28. Okay. Gonna have to do some strategizing here on how to get the lamb track is out of the way, but he pulled the fan out of it to flip it around to make it a sucker versus blower. I don't know, but that thing just needs to be put back together. Get that out of the way, then he can have his roundabout again. But now he's got another truck in the way. His new one's there. The flatbed's actually built. Just needs to be flipped over and put on the truck and get the bumper measurements. Start building the bumper and then move along to start fabricating the stuff for the dump cylinder. Deal with buying that new Prime, I said we got to sell this lamb track, but here we are. She's still here. Look at him go. It's like back in the day. I towed the boat with that thing too across the property. It was sketch. Hell, last time I came in here, I got stuck right there. This time I made it right there. And I actually got some weight forward. I could just unstrap the boom and turn it around, but I don't know if I can get going back again. I'm gonna just go probably unload right here. Just forward load, nice and ripping. Yeah, before it just died out right here. So I was surprised I actually made it through this, but you know, wintertime. That's just what you got. Nice warming fire right here on a cold day. Hey, I left the lunch in the Toyota. Gotta go back to the house. Luckily, it was only maybe a mile up the road. To be honest, I really haven't seen the Mechlek working from outside the cab too much, hardly at all. This is one of those help out the neighbors kind of job. These are nice folks. Normally we just bring it down here and they'll bark later on, but it was a burn day, so we figured what the heck. Go ahead. Let's go eat. I got hot food in the truck. Hot food in the truck. It was blowtorching. Oh yeah, it's blowtorching a little bit out that stump. What do we got there? Okay. Did you cut that top one right there? Okay. Yeah, you better hightail it. Yeah. Bob says load up the golf cart. Firewood man himself. Who did it go to his house? Well, all of it's down there, so that's pretty neat. I did not think we were gonna get, we got one more chunk right here. I didn't think we were gonna get the butt cut moved, and it's in the pile down there. Well, she's starting to burn pretty good. That whole tree is in there now. The homeowner, he said, yeah, just pack it all down there. If it doesn't burn up this time, he'll keep dumping stuff on it, but he did ask me to grab this stuff out of the field. Burn pile there, burn pile there, burn pile there, just little stuff that they manage by hand. He's gonna be turning 90 this year. He's got a little tractor somewhere around here, but it's not an excavator, and this thing literally makes life so much easier for doing little jobs like this. But Rotobeck grapple is wow. It's like equivalent to having like a brush rake for a skid steer. Look at all that junk I got in there. And it's still a nimble, functioning, get everything done kind of grapple. And I can dig with it too. I dig a lot of roads out with it, cut bank stuff. Let's throw this on there. Well, we're gonna just let that sit there and burn. Come back tomorrow. Gonna leave the machine here, so in the morning, first thing, we can go ahead and scrape it back together. Remember how I said I was gonna leave the Toyota with my dad, finally give it back to him? Well, it turns out I'm gonna just leave my truck here and go home and go back to my dad's house. Come on, Gate. What? This thing got hit by a tree. Go grab the Toyota and take it home again. Oh, guess what, Hoss? Forgot. Pretty much. Well, there she is next morning. This brush right here, old Bob brought down with a golf cart. This is up there by the trailer. Gather this up quick. Call her a day. I'd say she's still got some pretty good heat. Should have grabbed that stuff that was right there on the downwind side of it first, but look at this. This is like a sinkhole that the Mechalike is somehow still floating on. It was getting a little spongy. You seen those videos on Instagram? That's what that was. It's a whoop, 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 whoop when you jump on it. Now I got the bucket. There's a grease gun in a pouch in there too. See if you can see over there. She's stacked up rip and roaring. It is severely windy right now. Severe, it's nasty. So we are all done here, groomed up the pile. Should burn out pretty nice. It actually burned up a lot last night. Look at that, it's so windy, the dang, it's not even a solid gate, but it flipped. Yep. She's nice and windy. Blow a tree in the road. Thank you for stopping, bus. I appreciate that. Look at that. Ross got the Toyota back. He hasn't driven that thing in a long time. Where'd he go? Let's see if he peels around the corner here. Side tangent. Funny story with that little rig. Look, he's spinning the tire. He's in there laughing. You can't deny those are fun little trucks just to rip around town, but when it comes down to having some power, they don't got nothing, especially if you're used to driving one of these. But he'd drive that thing to work every single day of the week, and after school I'd get ride the bus to my grandpa's house and he'd pick me up in that truck. I had like a sixth sense I could hear that sucker just putting up the road. It's cool that he's actually driving it again. Probably turned his headlights on maybe. But anyway, it's actually snowing out here. I don't know if you guys noticed that. We don't get snow down here, but we've gotten snow down here a bunch this year. And I'm gonna let you on a little bit of a secret.
I got new those for that thing. I got new those for that thing. New shifty thing for that thing. New things for up there. And some stuff to make it do some stuff up there with a whoop. See ya.